Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome. A little something different today. Still gonna get your blood pumping. May be fun for aspiring instructors to kind of see what goes on for me. But even if you're just a practitioner as well, kind of a different way to look at a sequence, to look at what goes on. At least this is how I create a sequence. I'm going to usually spend some time, like build a playlist, maybe off of a previous playlist, and I'm going to give a little less focus. I mean, in the beginning, I used to really, try and pick every song perfect, right? Like every song you want to make just right, and like that can be tough, especially if you're teaching a lot, and especially if you've got to do different sequences. So what I've learned over time is that, yes, music is super important. It's one of the things I love about this, but it also doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be subjective to everyone who's participating, who's taking the class. So you're going to win some with some, and you're going to lose some with others, and I mean that's just the nature of the game. So I'll start pretty open. I'll start with just like a workout for myself, right? We'll just go ahead and get started here. So before this is typically some of the foundational stuff that'll go in to my writing a new sequence. And I've got this similar playlist. I'm just gonna start, we're gonna move a little bit here. So start to roll your shoulders back. We're gonna turn this into a little bit of a workout. Oh, I gotta get my music situated. That's not sounding as good to you, and I don't even, this was kind of a spontaneous choice this morning. So again, like movement, shoulders, range of motion, take up space. All right. You know me and technology, not always my favorite thing. So how about some knee circles? Just a little range of motion here to get your body moving. And I'm looking, like my first song I'm kind of looking for is, it's going to be certainly slower out the gate. This one has potential, just kind of starting to move. Right, like this is a maybe. And we'll be mixing songs in along the way. I just want to start hear things, see where things are, single arm reach, circles. And the reason the music is key is because length of time in the song, right? Like change directions. What is it that you want to build in class? Now you might have a little framework like shoulders back. If you're doing a half mandala song, like, you may be looking at time. How many minutes is the song in length, right? Good, circles back. Good, and then let's get just a little turn here because we're gonna start to move here in a minute. We want to be ready. And always knowing, you've got your places in the sequence to build from. I usually start with Sun B. Just almost like a little body dynamics here, and then bring your knees into your stomach. So just like step it out, fight for height here, range of motion, right? You want to be warm, like get your body ready. 3, like right here, I'm looking at this track, 5 minutes, 51 seconds. Open your knees out wide to the side. I'm thinking about it's like your Sun A typically going to be somewhere in that 6 to 8 minute, kind of your beginning, your awakening, you're warming things up, and we're doing a little of that right now, cross knee to opposites. Just sort of hearing things, feeling things out. In this particular sequence today, I know that I want to build, I want to build from a straightforward to the front of the mat sequence. It's typically going to be somewhere in a 4 to 5 minute range in time. We've got a little more to get to in class. And I'm going to start to look for time, so right here, 5 minutes, 45 seconds, and I'm going to start to think through sequence. This would be a little bit longer to the front, right? So, do I have chair pose in this setup, right? Is that a foundational move, right? Am I going to start from that position? Do I? Now let's chair pose, right? We're gonna build that in. That's gonna help us travel forward to the top, right? Take a little time, start to hear the song, right? Like this is your sun B. So if I'm just gonna set up a little chair pose and start to feel things out. Good, scoop my tailbone under, reach my arms long. We'll try not to do too much cueing of this sequence, but from chair pose, let's get into a little airplane arms, right? So it's a breath in for length, all the while with the music, pull elbows back. And I want to know, find halfway to the song as well. Something just to pay attention to as you hear the sequence. From airplane arms, breath in, chair pose, and then exhale. I'm going to fold it out here. Something to look forward to, right? Option like sway your arms side to side, just a little ragdoll. Something to look for in the song, right? What's the pace? How is the tempo? Does this sound like I'm setting something up? I think this sounds pretty good so far. So let's halfway lift, find chaturanga to high plank, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. So song length is critical, right? Knowing the song length, how much you can squeeze in. So try and start to pay attention, hold on to, because you can transition that. You just move that forward with your sequencing and the next ones that you continue to write. Oh, I know I need a 4-minute song here. All right. So from downward dog, we'll take a right leg up, and then a ripple forward, knee to nose. So just active, always good. This ripple forward. These are your ability, right? These are your activators where if you need to drop one out for the flow, let's say you just don't have enough time to get 3 in, but only 1, it's almost like a little filler. In terms of the sequence, good, and then through to low lunge, crescent lunge, rise up. If you can see length of the song, so crescent lunge, good, open back up, your warrior 2, your transition, so find your stance. Where am I in the track? How many moves do I got? Reverse warrior, reach high. I'd sit a little deeper. And you're building this as your warm-up. You'll build the sequence from the beginning through. You've got your primary, right? And then exhale, let's go all the way down. We're about halfway here. Press up, and you're gonna repeat. Right, left leg up. It's a knee to nose. 2 more. Good, kick high. And then step through a lunge. Just kind of start to work your way. Keep an eye on time, right? Square your back hips. At least 3 breaths in each posture, and you can take it longer. Right, there's no set rules to this. The longer you hold the posture, the deeper you're going to get into the posture, and 3 breaths sometimes isn't enough. There's a lot of cues you're building in here. Don't be in a rush. Good. Work my way through. Keep an eye. We're running. I got a little fast. I know I got to build a little more into this sequence right now. Given where the song is that I do like for my Sun B setup. Good, and then come on down. Press up and back. Nice. So, got a little time left. Like, I'm gonna start to figure out with that kind of basic setup that I'm in, what I can build in at the same time. I'm gonna start looking for things. I can flow to. So let's see where the playlist goes. Sometimes you're moving yourself a little bit quicker. I mean, we're right in a sequence, so you're chopping this up. This isn't just a set workout. Length of time right here, it looks pretty good, right? Like this is a good, this has got 4 minutes and 50 seconds, right? Coming off of a 5-minute, 45-second setup. Setup is usually going to be longer than your breath to movement flow. This sounds pretty good. It's got a little faster beat. I think I like this, so let's pause for just a second. Now, I'm right in the sequence. I kind of have an idea what the Sun B is. Right, I know I need to add a little to it, and then I'm going to work on this flow, right? So let's see how this song is to flow to, just given where things are. I'm going to just throw in like that yogi back bend right before I get into Sun B. Let's see what that does here. We'll hit each side at least once, and I'm keeping an eye here on screen. Like if you can write with your computer and see where the song is at as it's playing, that'll definitely help in your mind. So we're going to start this song over, start from downward facing dog, and we'll practice what that Sun B is going to flow like. Breath in, look forward. Breath out, travel to my hands. Good, halfway lift. Forward fold, chair pose. So, good, and then airplane arms. Good, breath in, chair pose. Exhale, full seat. One time for length. Chaturanga, high to low. Breath in, press up. Breath out, downward facing dog, right leg high. Knee to nose, ripple forward. Breath in, extend. 2 more. Inhale for length. Exhale, ripple through. Good, breath in, kick high, and then step through low lunge. So crescent lunge, rise up. Yogi lunge, soften in. Breath in to crescent, and then exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Good, exhale, extended side angle. I think I'm adding that in too if I can recall. Breath in, reverse warrior. High to low, cartwheel down, chaturanga. So I've added 2 postures. Breath in, press up. It'll help in length. Breath out back. Left leg, knee to nose. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. I'm just feeling good now. I'm moving a little bit. Breath in, kick high. Step out, low lunge. So almost as if inhale for length. Exhale into depth. Rise up. I like how this is timing up. Open up, warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. Reverse warrior, reset. Good, now high to low. I'm right about halfway. So that works. Breath in. Press up. Breath out. Downward facing dog. Good stuff. So, I've got that sequence more or less built. I've added 2 postures, right? I added the yogi lunge just on the fly based on timing, right? And then that extended side angle as well. And we time out perfect. We needed a little bit more time in our Sun B setup, so I think we've got this built pretty good now. I'm gonna go Right back through one more time, Sun B. Where I'm going to set it up again. What you're also doing is building it in your musculature, right? When you do this, the repetition is helpful. It helps as you're teaching. It helps remind you where you're going. You can feel it if you're off your mat. You know you're over there giving your clients assists and adjust because they love it so much. Y'all teachers, like, that don't adjust or assist, I mean, you're missing out on the connection you can be building with your clients, right? Like, you never see anybody raise their hands like about not getting adjusted in class. Like, hey, who doesn't want me to come near their space? Like, yo, touch, super important. Take advantage. Your clients will appreciate it. Okay, so we're coming back through Sun B, setting things up. Here we go. Breath in, look forward. Breath out, travel to your hands. One time, halfway lift. Forward fold. Nice. Chair pose, sit low. Good, so we'll rip through the cues, be direct, right? At least breath cue, or breath posture cue. So it's inhale, chair pose. Scoop your tailbone underneath you, squeeze your knees in towards one another. Lift your heart a little higher. One more breath in here, right? You got me? Exhale and be direct with your cues. Tell the people what to do. Order commands. Bring your elbows past your ribs. Soften the grip with your toes. Shift weight into your heels. Good, nice. Lengthen the crown of your skull a little bit higher. One more breath out. Nice. Inhale, chair pose. That's the transition, and then exhale, forward fold. One time, halfway lift. Chaturanga high to low, step or float back. If you float, land with bent elbows. I might be a little off screen. We'll meet back. Downward facing dog. Breath in, send your right leg high. Breath out, ripple forward, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ripple forward, knee to nose. Extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Crescent lunge, rise up. Right, cues, right? Square your back up forward, lift your heart up, y'all. Soften your shoulders down, and like you can see my bunion side, you can see the knee turn in. Good. One more breath in. Breath out, exhale, yogi lunge. Deepen it. Scoop your tailbone underneath you to support your low back. Good. Press through your back leg. Soften into your front knee. One more breath out. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Scissor your inner leg line together. Pull right your shoulders away from your hips. Soften your shoulder blades together. Draw your front knee to the knife's edge of your front foot and sit a little deeper. One more breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Good, shine your right palm to the wall behind you. Stay committed to your lunge. Ground down through the outside edge of your back foot. Good, squeeze in, pull length, engage your core. One more breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Good, leverage your right forearm into your thigh. Maybe your fingertips are all the way down, but take your eyes with the twist. Scoop your tailbone underneath you and reach it towards your back foot. One more breath out. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior just to reset. Exhale, high to low. Cartwheel down, your transition. So second side, we're about a little over halfway here, which is right where we want to be. Left leg up, ripple forward, knee to nose. For length, two more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hug in. Breath in, grow long. Breath out, step through, low lunge. Crescent lunge, rise up. Square your back hip through, deepen into your front leg now. Good. Lengthen the crown of your skull up. Press your back hip through, square your front hip back. Good. Can you sit a little deeper? One more breath in. Exhale, yogi lunge. Good. Soften into your back knee. Good, lift your heart up, breathe length up towards the sky. Good, soften forward, one more breath out. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Lift the inner arch of your back foot, right? Lift, erect, Q. Good, keep your eyes out over your front hand. Good, and then soften your shoulder blades in. One more breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior. All right, shine your left palm back. Good, keep your eyes lifted. And then exhale, extended side angle. So this is, like I'm keeping an eye on time. I'm paying attention, how many breaths, where am I at here? These are your markers. Good, breath in, reverse, warrior, and then breath out, cartwheel down, high to low. Stand up, shake it, take a couple breaths. Where am I at? About 20 seconds off here. I think like that's a really good foundation to be. Gives you a little leeway in the transition, right? Take a little more time. You got extra breaths, like in downward facing dog if you need them. Let's flow one more time too, just to kind of get things in, and then we'll look towards the other components. Breath in, look forward. Breath out, travel to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold for depth. Chair pose, sit low. Exhale, airplane arms, maybe the heels lift. Good, breath in, chair pose. Breath out, fold deep. One time for length. Chaturanga high to low for depth. Breath in, press up. Breath out, press back, downward facing dog, right leg high. Ripple forward, knee to nose. Inhale for length again, knee to nose, hug in. Breath in, grow long. Ripple forward, knee to nose, extend. Split kick, low lunge, step through. Crescent lunge, rise up, 2, 3, 4. Yogi lunge, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, crescent lunge, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, warrior two, 2, 3, 4. Reverse warrior. That's your breath cycle. Exhale, extended side angle. Try and stay consistent. Good. Breath in, reverse. 2, 3, 4. Breath out, high to low. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, press up. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. 3, 4. Breath in, left leg high. Ripple forward, knee to nose. Inhale for length. 2 more. So this going back through, step through low lunge, right? Inhale, crescent lunge. I guess this is how you're getting a little work in yourself. Breath in, rise up. Open up, warrior two. Good, reverse warrior. It feels good to move for us too, y'all. Reach long. 2 birds, good. Breath in. For length, breath out. All the way down. One more time through. Seal it in, breath in, look forward, breath out, travel. One time for length, forward fold for depth, chair pose. Good, airplane arms. Breath in, chair pose. Breath out, fold deep. One time. Your vinyasa, high to low. Breath in, press up to downward facing dog, right leg high. Knee to nose. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Curl and round, breath in, grow long. Step through low lunge, crescent lunge. Good, breath out, yogi lunge. Inhale, extend. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior 2, 3, 4, extended side angle, 3, 4, breath in, reverse, reset, 2, 3, 4, breath out, high to low, 2, 3, 4, inhale, upward facing dog, 2, 3, 4, breath out, downward facing dog, left leg, good, step through, extend, 2 more, three-legged dog, low lunge, step through, crescent lunge, go in deep and good, inhale, and exhale, breath in, reverse, breath out, extended, good, inhale, high to low, exhale, I feel like I skipped a side, all good, doesn't matter, I know where we're going there. So, some things you can take advantage of. How many breaths in each posture are you holding? Right, like if you pay attention to that through a whole sequence, you can impact how long it takes, right? Like your knee to nose, like those things. You can have multiples in setup and only one in the through. You could go vice versa. You could hold tight in your setup and then add repetitions as you flow. No right answer, just all little things that you can use throughout your sequence, right? To help the practitioner stay in rhythm, to help stay on point with music, like if that's important to the class. And most importantly, like to help you just have tools and things to help better, control how things are going. So we've got like the song built, right? We've got the beginning, so we're kind of got some heat built up in our system too. We're about 30 minutes. We got about 32 minutes left in an hour. So like this is writing one sequence, 1 hour, y'all, Sunday live, right? Like Yoga Pod, Fort Collins. I mean, I'm coming for you Sunday. Is anybody going to be ready for this? We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so going back to the beginning. Now, you know what you've been writing. You may be theming your classes, maybe times of year. It might be, different energy cycles, all sorts of good options. Oftentimes, however, you're not working like with the same students for a big long period of time. So it's so much not necessarily like the program that you're offering, right? But like that you're giving a well-rounded class every time. It's that practitioner, right? They're going to get a great deal. They're going to focus inward. They're going to listen to themselves. They're going to push where they can, and they're going to back off where they need to, no matter what. But in that environment, like in terms of the program that you're writing out, it doesn't always like need to be some 12-week thing that you've got built up in your head. It just should be a well-rounded sequence for that day. Right, so like that's going to benefit most, kind of that 80-20 rule, certainly in that instance where people are only using yoga as their form of exercise and that's their only program. Those longer term programs are more practical and have better application. So let's see, we're just going to look at Sun A at the beginning. I'm going to kind of slow things back down again. I kind of liked where we were at with that first track. It's certainly on the slower side, just a way to feel things out. Today we're going to start, I've been starting heavily, lately, and this is no rhyme or no reason, but like child's pose. So let's start on our backs for this particular beginning. So Shavasana, maybe reach your legs away from one another, reach your arms up overhead. Deep breaths, and this is just going to be to give a little bit of a shell for how things are going to start at the beginning. And then good, I'm going to squeeze my right knee into my stomach and find some compression here. Nice that there is no weight, shoulders over hips right now. Gives me a little more freedom to look for range of motion, and then Switch out the legs, pull the left knee in, and you're strong in your upper body. You're starting to activate here. Good. Good, and then I'm going to set this foot down and bring the other knee in. Just a couple of gentle twists. Couple rounds of breath. Can you surrender? Like, can you get them to go tension free? Back through, second side. Deep belly breath here. And again, the goal to surrender. Feet back in. We're going to squeeze in and start to rock and roll to massage out the length of the spine. All right, so right now I know Sun A. Good, cross your ankles. Roll over your knees or swivel around however and find your way back to downward facing dog now. You're going to walk it out side to side. Good. So bring your feet forward, come back up to standing now. So here we go. Sun A. Start to kind of look at the music. Sun A, you're going to start down on your back, right? You're going to hug knees in and just kind of get that gentle framework, how you're coming forward, how you're getting to downward facing dog. How much time do I have in the song? Kind of paying attention, and then I'm working on the sequence. So I'm going to kind of see what's next in line for this potential little bit of a flow that we get in Sun A. Typically a pretty short 2-minute kind of number, right? Like 2 to 3. Usually you're not spending a ton of time in the Sun A flow. So, again, just think we're just starting to kind of scratch the surface, breath to movement. And this song has potential, right? Like it's good. I can live here. Again, remember, every song doesn't have to be your favorite song. Expose yourself to new music. Let the music apps of the world fill things in for you. Let them know what you like, but then suggest, because that's where you'll find great stuff. That's where you'll keep stimulating new and open and creative energies within yourself. Music is so important when the feeling of it makes you want to move or act or emote or all sorts of good things, right? Like that's the beauty of it. So take advantage, use it. Okay, so look, I've got the first couple of tracks, finishing right about, 8 or 9 minutes. That's a good little range of time for your sequence, right? For that Sun A and all the way through your flow. So I haven't gone through that standing just yet, but let's finish that out from where we were. Let's see, boom, boom, okay. Okay. So from downward facing dog, I'm going to come forward, look to my hands, maybe a little ragdoll. Today, all sorts of variations. This is your basic hands to opposite elbows, interlace your fingers. You can twist or not. Good, back down, big toes in towards one another, and I'm going to rise all the way up, mountain pose. Right, pinkies in, shift forward, root down, like you're right back in Shavasana, only standing. So hips, right, still underneath your shoulders, your heart lifting up, arms reaching away, just like at the beginning on the bottom of our mat. We were reaching length. We were pulling length there. Good. Good, from mountain pose, let's vertical twist, and y'all, it could just be because you haven't done it in a while or something, like I haven't done this in the sequence in a while, this will be different for them, like that's fine, don't overthink it. Right? Don't overthink it. The practitioner, y'all, they do what they need to do with the sequence. We'll take a vertical twist here as well. That Sun A flow song is a little longer, like, so you need maybe a little more time in your Sun A. Good, breath in and then breath out. Nuts and bolts, y'all, it makes a difference. Good. Back up, mountain pose, and then exhale, forward fold, halfway, making the way back, right, to downward facing dog. We'll chaturanga through. Then come on back, downward facing dog. So, right there, like, you know, I kind of have an idea on, hey, maybe need to add a little more time on the mat, maybe on my back. You know, where am I finishing up in that initial track? And then from downward facing dog, when am I going to start in? So maybe it's 3 breaths, maybe it's 5 breaths in your downward facing dog before you get right into flowing Sun A 2 times, 1 breath to 1 movement. Here we go. How long do I wait to flow? Good, breath in, look forward. Breath out, travel to your hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Chair pose, sit low. Oh, we're mountain pose rather. Exhale, vertical twist to the right. Got into my Sun B head, it happens. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, twisting to the left. Good, breath in, stand tall. Breath out, back bend, lift your heart up. Inhale, reach high. Did I add that? I might have. Exhale, forward fold. I think I felt like I needed one more thing. Breath out, halfway lift. To downward facing dog, your chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, back. 3 rounds of breath. Good, breath in, look forward, and breath out, travel to your hands. 1 time, halfway lift, forward fold into death, rise up, stand tall, twisting to the right, breath in, mountain pose, twisting to the left, inhale, reach high, back bend, lift your heart up, good, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. 1 time. Your vinyasa, high to low, boom, boom. Breath out, come on back. And I'm back up to standing. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water here. Look, little time left, so just some food for thought. But I know now, Sun A, I'm starting on my back, like I'll rock through, it'll find downward facing dog. You know, from there it's ragdoll, your standing twist at the top. I've got the foundation of the sequence built, right? So I've got it built in my musculature. The playlist, because of the repetition, is starting to sink in. Now, where are we going to go from here? Are you going to have belly up core in class? Are you not? Like, can make a difference for sure. You're still building. Like, that's where you are in the sequence. You're still like going deeper into the practice. So maybe you're done with Sun B altogether and you just want to get to some other standing postures. You know, you could work into some heart opening, some back bending now that things have gotten warmed up. Lots of different things to do. So let's go. We'll take us through, like, we'll go with a chair pose to a revolved crescent lunge kind of series. So just moving forward, getting a little bit deeper. This particular type of place in class, like, depending upon what you're doing on each side, do I want to go long on each side? Do I not? Sometimes you're taking that Sun B flow and just working, building off of it. So you could, you know, one more time through that Sun B with additions, maybe holding more time in certain places, adding more difficult poses. So typically I'm going to be looking for, let's see, looking for somewhere in like a 5-minute range for this next track. You know, based on just kind of your chair transition, that's going to mean 2.5 minutes or so on each side. I don't know this song. We're going to see how we like it. We may jump back and say this just ain't going to work for that. So downward dog, I made my way back forward, right? I've just finished up that Sun B second side. So chair pose, sit low, send my hips back, sit a little deeper, good. So right, you've been here before, now you can go deeper, one breath in, and then we'll take it's like that prayer twist. So just kind of start to work into the practice, go through your cues. You know, the more you can be talking to yourself, telling yourself what to do, either in your mind or even out loud, that'll help you own, right, the language for your cueing. All right, good, so shift weight over into my right foot, bend my left knee, and then take a big controlled step back for revolve, crescent lunge. Look, take my eyes into the twist. Stay strong into my back leg. Now, sit a little deeper, soften the grip with your toes on your front foot. Take your eyes where you're trying to go. Good, one more breath in, and then from here, I'm gonna release my gaze down to the mat, runner's lunge. So I'm going to shift out wide, just take a little time. You built heat, you're opening your hip even deeper here. So starting to work into some of that surrender, right, in the heat. You're going to stack your knees over your ankle, flex your toes to protect your knee. And I know I've got to make my way back forward, so it's like downward facing dog is where I'm going to go. I'm going to see where things are at in time wise. Good. I'm going to take this transition, so back to my hands, curl my back toes under, and then I'm going to roll into a side plank on the left side. So step back, open, so building a little upper body strength, root my feet down, lift hard up a little higher, and then with or without a chaturanga, high to low. And what do you know? Right about halfway in the track, so this works good for timing. Look forward, come forward, one time, halfway lift, forward, fold into depth. Chair pose. Right, the same cue, set up, palms through, hinge forward, leverage, squeeze in, sit a little deeper. Really starting to work into your twist. You know, we did that standing twist at the beginning, right, in your Sun A to help working that twisting range of motion. Shift weight into the left side, big controlled step back, and you definitely don't gotta rush here. What cues, right, reach your back leg long, bump your back up a little higher. You could always drop your knee down. Good, one more breath in, and then runner's lunge. So surrender in, melt down. Take some time. Like, this is your practice too, y'all. We've all only got so many hours in each day. And so from runner's lunge, start to make your way back to your hands. Lift your back hip up, good. And then it's side plank, right side. Good, root down, lift up a little bit higher. For 3, 2, 1, good. Forward through, come on back up to downward facing dog. So, right, going deeper, still with challenge, starting with a basic framework and then building from it. So amazingly enough, Doesn't always happen like this. I can't imagine it'll get us through the end of the playlist, but right now I've got Sun A, Sun B built. I've got that next sequence, that working set after, right, built as well. We're hitting that prayer, like that chair pose into crescent lunge with twisting going on. You know, it's you know, so I've got a really good chunk of the sequence built. Now, I didn't custom choose any of these songs. I lucked out for these first 5, right? And so that's taken us through 17, 23, 27. I mean, that's basically the first 30 minutes of class, right? So what do you have left from there? Are you going to do balance sequences? Are you going to do like floor stuff, spine strengthening, maybe, you know, a little more back bending there? You know, not too late to throw in some core if that's what you want to do, but just there's all sorts of places. Let's see what the next track is, right? We can go. Now you might say, oh, this one was from the last playlist too, and yeah, it's if you don't have to repeat if you don't have to. A little bit longer track here. Do I have time for this track in the sequence? Like, I don't know. These are just kind of the things. And then, you know, what else you could do is you could say, you know, I like that. I'm going to actually switch places with the last song, and I'm going to use this song for my prayer twist because I want to finish, you know, at the back with some balance work too. So maybe that's what I'm thinking to myself right now. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the fly. Right, so... Okay, so what do I have left, right? Like, let's go ahead and throw down, we'll move into some balance work there, and then I want to get down on the mat from the back, maybe some full wheel, some bridge pose, get into some back bending a little bit deeper, and we're going to cool things down a little bit. Where are we at? I got about 11 minutes left here, so I've got the framework built. I know where I want to go. Maybe now it's just finding the right songs to work with. But I'm going to actually just sort of like, you know, I'm a day or two away from when I'm throwing this sequence down. I'm going to keep it building in my mind where I'm going to take it. Keep kind of tweaking the playlist if it feels right. Cool. I think we're going to go ahead and disconnect here, y'all. I hope that was helpful or it was interesting at some level. Like, you certainly can ask any questions. Like, this is what goes on for me when I'm building sequences, and it's like I've been at it a long time, and some of it's more practical, a little bit more, you know, food for maybe the instructor to kind of take into consideration and to use. And you don't have to take every sequence so seriously, right? It's the person who's practicing the sequence that needs to take it seriously so that they can get the most out of it. And don't hesitate to coach your students up on that as well. A lot of fun, y'all. More to come. I love you. Be well. Thank you for showing up today. And thank you for showing up in your life every day, because I know you're not watching me every day to hear it again and again. So have a great day. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Namaste.